Donald Trump. You despised him. His election almost ruined your life. You felt. What do you think of him today?
Love him.
You love Donald Trump?
I love Donald Trump.
Tell us why.
Well, for so many reasons. First of all, I think he's doing a spectacular job as president. I love that he's a rebel and a revolutionary, and I think that he is. This is what is so disappointing to me about this period that we're living in right now. If liberals and Democrats could just let go of the hatred, I mean, this could be the most fun, enjoyable time, one of the most in our nation's history. I mean, Donald Trump is the president. When are we ever going to get this time back? You know, but they can't enjoy it, and they're making themselves miserable. They're making us miserable. But you know, another reason I think I love him is because once, and again I say, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you see clearly what they're doing to him and the way that they're maligning him and lying about him and just assassinating his character on a daily basis and going after his family and going after his children, going after, you realize I have such a deep admiration for this man at this point that he's willing to endure this, because newsflash, he doesn't need to. He doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the fame. He doesn't need the attention. I mean, this guy could be retiring and enjoying this time with his grandchildren and enjoying his wealth and traveling the world. He's doing this because he loves the American people and he cares about this country. And so when I look at somebody who's willing to just get smacked around as much as he does and still keep taking it and doing it for the American people, I have nothing but admiration for the man.
How are you received in the so-called gay community?
They don't, I think, yet understand what it is that I'm doing, and that's kind of the attitude that I try to take, is that despite any treatment that I may be receiving right now, which is obviously not favorable, I think that in time, the gay community and liberals in general are going to have a clear understanding of what it is that I'm trying to do. Because, see, what it is right now is so many are still stuck, I think, again, because of the liberal media, in this mindset that if you're a conservative, you wish to do harm to the gay community, or you wish, you know, if you're a Republican, it's because you hate gay people. Not only have I not found that to be true, I've been warmly embraced by conservatives, and I mean, I'm leading this kind of phenomenal movement, and nobody has come up to me and said, you know, I really love your movement, but you're gay, so I can't get on board. Like, that hasn't happened, and it's not, you know, it's only growing and growing. And so what I really want the gay community to see is that I'm largely trying to empower them. Same with black people, same with brown people, same with all of these other targeted groups in the left, the Democratic Party. I want them to see that the world has changed. You know, and this is, I think, another important point. It's not as if oppression is a fallacious concept. I mean, our nation has a dark history, you know, in the way that we have treated black people, the way that we've treated brown people and women and LGBT people. But I want to focus on where we are today. I want to let go of the past and live in the present and look to the future, which at this point, I don't believe that we live in a time where we are oppressing minorities in America anymore. It just isn't happening, and that goes for the gay community as well. I want them to see, hey, guys, like, let's move on. Let's forgive and move on, because I think at this point, we should be worrying about empowering ourselves as individuals and not sticking within these groups and seeing ourselves as victims.
But some people are heavily invested in being victims.
It's their identity.
Some groups are invested, front groups.
Mm-hmm.
They get a lot of money to promote victimhood.
That's right.
And the louder they are, the more radical they are, the more outrageous they are, the more they draw media attention in headlines and so forth. It's sort of a very vicious cycle.
Right.
What you seem to be saying to me is, let's get off the hamster wheel. Let's start to pay attention to what's actually going on. Put the brainwashing aside.
Right.
And let's embrace our individuality and our liberty, regardless of who you are or what you are, which is a quintessential conservative message.
Absolutely. And what you're describing is what I call the oppression industry. Mm-hmm. It's an industry that exists by constantly making people feel like they're in danger, constantly making them feel like they don't have the same rights or advantages or opportunities as other people in this country. And after they get done delivering that message, and they say, and click here to donate, please. So yeah, what I want is for people to see that you know, they can embrace their individual identity, and it's not like these things aren't extremely important. They are. I mean, if I look at my own community, the gay community, We have an astronomical HIV rate in this community. We have an astronomically accelerated drug and alcohol abuse rate in this community. Now, these aren't coincidences. These are the results of people constantly being fed the messages that they are not good enough, that they are in danger, that they are not wanted, that they're hated, that they're, you know. And so I want people to see this isn't reality anymore. It doesn't have to be this way. I'm sober. I just celebrated more than 4 years of sobriety. My life has changed tremendously for the better. I wish what I have and what has happened to me for every other person who's ever felt like they weren't good enough or that they were a victim or that set yourself free. I want these people to be liberated, and it can happen, it should happen, but they're constantly getting messages from their media, from their party, the Democratic Party, that we're still living in the past. And
wouldn't the Democrat Party cease to be, that is, cease to exist, but for the balkanization of Americans, but for the victimization of Americans, but for trashing America? And yet I see people by the tens of millions who would pour into this country if we allowed to pour into this country. Gay people, straight people, black people, brown people, white people, all people. We're such an oppressive, horrific country that we can't keep people out. We'll be right back.